I don't know about that now.
Hold on.
Well, you guys want me to make a statement or you want to ask questions?
Jump right in.
It's always great to be at the Senior Bowl. I think this is a great event. You know, it's a tradition in Mobile to sort of sponsor this event. I think everybody in the NFL, I know when I was in the NFL, I certainly look forward to coming here each and every year. And it's a first-class event. It's run well. It gives everybody an opportunity to make evaluation of, you know, the college football players that are coming out, and it's great to have that in the state of Alabama.
How proud of you, the guys that are representing the university?
Well, I think that, you know, our guys that we have in the game, we didn't have a big senior class this year, so we only have several guys here, but they've played a lot of good football for us. We won a lot of games with this group. You know, James Carpenter, Preston Dow, Greg McElroy have all been great representatives of the University of Alabama, and I'm sure will be great ambassadors for us in the future as well.
Having both worked in the college and the pros, what kind of advice can you give these guys on how to best impress these scouts and these coaches and maybe make it on the next level?
I think the thing you have to do is don't worry about impressing everybody. Just be who you are, and hopefully if you've created the right habits of being as good as you can be in everything that you do, which is what we try to promote in our program. You know, a guy goes out and does that and practices that way and plays that way, then he's gonna impress people, and I think that would be the advice that I would give anyone.
Can you talk about McElroy specifically, his skill set and how he might transition to the NFL, which is a tough position, quarterback?
Right. Well, you know, it's the #1 failure position probably in the draft because quarterbacks are just hard to evaluate, but and I think the reason is you never know if they have the right stuff. You know, it's such a judgment, decision-making position, a leadership position, and I know when it comes to intangibles and all the right stuff, Greg McElroy's got all the right stuff, and did a great job of managing the game for us, did a great job of playing winning football, making good choices and decisions, not turning the ball over very much, and is accurate as a passer. And I think some of those things are really critical factors to being successful as a quarterback in the NFL.
Coach, can you comment on James Carpenter's opportunity here and his skill set as well?
Well, you know, James started for 2 years every game he's been in Alabama for us, and certainly has the athleticism, and I think has developed very nicely, improved a lot. Joe Penry did a very good job with him in his development, and I think he has the athleticism to play left tackle in the league, and hopefully he'll get that opportunity.
Coach, we're 2 weeks away from signing day. Talk about the attack that you want to do for the remainder of 2 weeks as you gear up for that.
Well, I think recruiting is recruiting. You know, we're pretty much full. We're only recruiting a few guys out there to try to get a few of them. Hopefully a couple great ones will fall our way, but basically we're doing a lot of recruiting for next year, you know, now, sort of evaluating junior recruiting. So, you know, recruiting timetable has accelerated so rapidly that, you know, I feel like sometimes we're behind on guys that are juniors now because people start recruiting them so early. I wish we could manage that timetable a little bit better, you know, because it's difficult to make good evaluations when it comes to academics, character, and even athletic ability in some cases. So, you know, our evaluation times are actually behind when we're offering guys, and that's not the way it should be.
Could you give us an update on replacing Kurt Signetti?
We don't have an update. We don't have a timetable. You know, I'm recruiting now. It's hard to spend the time to, you know, evaluate coaching candidates when you're on the road all week. So, you know, until we get the time to do the due diligence we need to do to make a good choice and decision, we won't have any updates.
Nick, how much did you enjoy the TV work?
I liked it. It was good. I mean, I don't know how, you know, I didn't see myself, so I don't really know how I did. But, you know, Fowler and Herb Street and the people at ESPN really do make it easy to, they make you feel comfortable. They're so confident and easygoing that, you know, it made it easy for me, you know, to work with those kind of guys. And, you know, I thought Urban did a great job, and, you know, hopefully we can, you know, win enough games to stay coaching for a few more years so we don't have to do that too often.
How did Terry say you did then?
She didn't raise much hell, so I guess I did all right.
Coach, from an NFL standpoint, how important are these practices to kind of making a good first impression?
Well, I think that, you know, you can make a really good impression here. I coached in this game when I was at the Cleveland Browns with Bill Belichick, and as a coach in the game, you know, you really can create an advantage for yourself by working with these guys for a week. But, you know, the whole league is here for the whole time. So guys really need to understand that to do things correctly here, especially in the interviews and all those things in terms of the relationships and those kind of psychological evaluations that people are trying to make, you know, it's really important to make the correct, impressions on people. And some guys don't think that's important. And it's amazing to me that they don't think it's important. And they're arrogant enough to think that their ability alone is going to help them be successful. And it takes a lot more than that in the National Football League.
Two more.
Coach, when it comes to recruiting, these websites and everything, they're so big. Do you think it impacts anything in the actual recruiting rooms?
You know, I am not a recruiting website guy, so you're asking the wrong guy about that. I think it does more harm than good. I think all the things that parents, coaches try to teach in terms of principles and values and honesty and integrity and what commitments mean and things like that, that I see media people trying to violate just to create news, whether it's in an all-star game to put a guy on TV or whatever. And I don't think that's good for college football. I don't think that's good for the development of young people, and it's certainly not what we try to develop with our players in our program. So, you know, none of these services have any effect on me because that's not how we recruit. You know, we try to evaluate, and we're concerned about what we do and how we go through our process of recruiting. And I do think, you know, that a lot of people are getting really upset that so many people call them to find out what's happening in the world of recruiting. You know, we've made recruiting a game. We've made it a game. It's like playing a game. Everybody wants to rate somebody and see who's ahead so they can see who won the game. And I'm not sure that's good, but that's what you all have done. So you proud of yourself or what?
One more.
McElroy got some good reviews for his work on ESPN. He said he wants to be a lawyer. He said he wants to coach, and here he is trying to be a pro football player. Of those four options, do you have an inside track on what you think he's going to do or what he should do?
I don't have any inside track on it. I just know whatever he decides to do, I don't want to be in competition with him because he's better on ESPN than me. He'd probably be a better coach than I am. He was certainly a hell of a lot better quarterback than I was when I played the position. So I just don't want to get in competition with a guy that's that bright, that good looking, and has that much on the ball. So I think he's going to be successful with whatever he chooses to do.
Thanks,
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Jeff.